We had a night that literally scared us. We thought we were gonna lose Scout, you guys. Check out the video.
Free to roll, ooh, oh, can't you see the beauty of this land? It's where we're meant to be. From coast to coast, let the good times roll. In our Alliance paradigm, we're free in our soul.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Billy.
I'm Sean.
We're free to roam. Well, as you know from our last video, we had a great time in Mesa, hanging out with our friends, enjoying our new 1,000 Trails membership. But just like we told you, RV life is not always rainbows and unicorns, is it? No. I guess we should start with, everything was fine. Scout was acting normal like she always does,
Yeah.
Scout, what are you doing? What you doing? In front of the heater vent. You like that heater vent, don't ya? Okay, you ready? Ready? Oh, you good girl. Who's your pretty girl? Who's your pretty girl? Who's your pretty girl? Oh. Uh-oh. You dropped it. You better go get it. Get it.
If you're ready with the manuscript and want your book reviewed, contact us today. Call for your free writer's guide or scan the QR code now. 833-5.
Really? Do you see your feet? Look at your feet. Look at your feet. We had our kennel outside of our RV, and there's a little bit of gravel, and sometimes when I take Scout for a walk or sometimes when we're out playing, she'll get a stick and she'll chew on. Bulldogs eat things they're not supposed to, right? So it's never a surprise to us when we have to sweep a rock out of her mouth.
Yeah,
because
they're just naughty little dogs.
Yes. So we're hanging out there in our yard and we're playing games in our clam with Jim and Amy one night, and everything's fine. We finish up dinner and we finish up playing games and we go to bed. And it's probably midnight or so when we get in bed. I mean, we stayed up a little bit late playing games, right?
Yeah, we weren't in a hurry to get to bed or anything.
At the end of the night when we were out playing games with Jim and Amy, Scout didn't really want to come out. Like, I put her inside, she acted like she wanted inside, so I put her inside and she laid in her bed on the couch, which is not normal because usually she's at the door staring at us. She wants to be out with us. Even when we're playing games, she wants to be in my lap or something.
Yeah, and we know bulldogs are typically lazy, so that might not seem like an obvious sign, but her personality has a little bit of that Boston in her where she's very energetic and she is really, I won't say clingy, but she definitely wants to be with us. She wants to be with us.
So I guess I should have cued in on that. But we went to bed and didn't think anything of it. I just thought maybe she was tired. So about 1 a.m. or something, she started throwing up. And everything she would throw up was like her dog food she just ate and water. Like nothing else was coming up. But she wouldn't stop throwing up. And she kept making motions like something was stuck. So I told Sean, I said, Sean, I think she's got an obstruction. I mean, we've had a bulldog before, and the bulldog we had before actually ate a wine cork that got stuck in her intestines, and we had to rush to the doctor and get surgery because it was an obstruction. So I knew Scout was acting really strange. I knew something was wrong. Sean was tired.
Yeah, but I've learned to trust Billy's instinct. We went through the whole thing with Maggie last summer. So Billy is kind of in tune to when these problems are, it'll be okay problems, or we need to get to a vet type problems.
Yeah, and something inside my stomach was like, this can't wait till in the morning. She wouldn't get comfortable. She wouldn't lay down. Normally she goes right under the covers and goes to sleep. She wouldn't lay down. She was throwing up. Something wasn't right. So immediately I got on my phone because we're in Mesa. I don't know anything about vets in Mesa. I don't know what's available. I don't know anything. So I get on my phone and I start looking right away. Just based strictly off of Google reviews and what I found online, there was actually an emergency vet less than a mile from the RV park, which, wow.
Unbelievably close and convenient.
Yeah, so we jumped in the truck, we got Scout in the truck, and we headed down there. Immediately, they did x-rays.
Yep.
and they ran tests. I guess I'm very concerned. I don't like Scout out of my sight, so they wouldn't let me go back and see the x-rays and all that, the exam with them. So I was a little apprehensive and I was very nervous. I was anxious. So I sat in the waiting room and I waited and I waited. And then they came out and they said, hey, we need to talk to you. So they brought Scout out to an actual room, a doctor's room. So the doctor came in and talked to me and she said, yes, definitely. There is an obstruction. There's something stuck. It made it all the way to her stomach, which is good. It didn't get stuck in her airway or her esophagus. It made it to her stomach, but it was not going to pass normally without hurting her because Scout's very small. So the obstruction was, you know, quarter size or bigger.
The fear was that if we delayed any longer, it would pass into her intestine and then it could have really created more problems.
Or it could have damaged her intestines. Yeah. So the doctor said, we won't know for sure when we get in there, but it looks like it made it to her stomach. So there were 2 surgery options, I guess. One was if we have to make a simple incision in the stomach, we can do that. Or if it's worse, we have to make a long incision in her intestine, which would be more expensive, of course. So she said, the vet said, yes, she has to have surgery tonight. This is an emergency. You know, tough decision, but we opted to go ahead and say yes and do the surgery because this is our dog. We're not gonna talk it over. If it means she could die or she couldn't die, of course we're gonna have the surgery, and it doesn't matter how much it costs. We're gonna do it, right? That's what we do for our pets on the road. Well, it's 2 a.m. in Mesa, Arizona, and what are we doing, Sean?
Messing with our mischievous dog again.
So Scout, we're staying in Mesa, and Scout started getting sick tonight. She was fine all day, playful.
South Gilbert Road for half a mile.
Playful, her normal self, and then tonight
Head toward East Broadway Road.
she went inside and she wasn't playing, she wasn't active, and then she started throwing up and she wouldn't stop throwing up. So we have had bulldogs and we know the signs of an obstruction. Bulldogs are naughty, they eat things they shouldn't. So I knew it's probably something, she's got an obstruction, so I knew. So I called an emergency vet in the area. It was like a mile down the road, so we went down here. Sure enough, they did x-rays and they found what?
Belly full of rocks.
Rocks and sharp things and sticks, and I mean, just so Scout has to have emergency surgery tonight. We left her there. I'm a mess because I don't want to leave her there, but this is life on the road, right? I had to literally look on Google to find an emergency vet and drop her with people I don't know. I read the reviews and there were great reviews from like a week ago. People love this vet. It's a great vet. The doctor did come in and explain everything to me and try to ease my worries because I'm terrified of them putting her under. And so it's 2 a.m. They're going to get her on the IV and prep for surgery and send us a text when they get her in. I guess one of the things that most makes me apprehensive, if you know anything about bulldogs, they're brachiocephalic dogs because they have breathing issues. And I knew that Scout's mom actually has some breathing issues. So I was a little concerned about them putting Scout under anesthesia because a lot of times they run into problems.
Yeah, and you really want to utilize a vet that is familiar with the breed, understands those complications, and then, you know, takes the necessary precautions.
Yeah.
Particularly when they're going to have to be sedated.
Yeah, and luckily the vet told me that a lot of the people in there on the staff actually own bulldogs themselves. They've done many of these surgeries. They know what they're doing. They assured me everything would be okay. I was still nervous wreck. You know, I left the vet's office crying because I didn't want to hand her over to them.
Yeah, but this is so common, particularly in these kind of breeds where they're naughty and eat things they're not supposed to. If I remember correctly, said that they do 6 to 7 of these obstruction removal surgeries a week. So it's like almost an everyday occurrence that they have a dog in there that they're removing something.
You know, we decided, okay, let's go ahead. We need to do the surgery, so I trust that you're going to take the precautions. And like I said, I found them with Google reviews, and I read all the reviews. And I can't tell you how many good reviews there were. I didn't see any negative ones. So I felt good going in there already, and then the vet herself put me at ease.
Yeah, very good bedside manner.
Yeah.
They obviously had a familiarity and experience that we felt like we could trust.
And Scout was about 8 months old when this happened, so they told us, hey, if you're not planning on breeding her, we can go ahead and spay her while she's under, because that's one less time you have to sedate her, which obviously we were like, absolutely, let's do that. So we handed Scout over to them, and they said, go home. We will call you after the surgery. So we went home.
That was probably the hardest part.
That was the hardest part.
I didn't have a snuggle Scout that night.
Handing her over to them and walking out without Scout was very hard for me. You know, you'd think, okay, it's 2 a.m, you're gonna go back home and go to bed. Well, I did not. I went to bed, but I waited and I waited and I waited. And they texted my number and said she went through surgery absolutely perfectly. She was fine, no problems. It was a very easy incision in her stomach, removed the obstructions. She was okay. She was in recovery, she was resting. They did tell me that because of her soft palate and her breathing issues, they actually manually ventilated her instead of putting her on the automatic ventilator machine, which I guess made me feel even better.
Oh, yeah.
To know that they took that precaution to be careful with her.
Yeah, they're like we said, they were acutely aware of any of those potential problems for the breed.
They wanted to keep her, so they kept her the rest of that day, and they were probably going to keep her one more night just to make sure that she recovered fine and she was eating and drinking and passing food. So we left her there. It was hard. It was so hard not being able to see her, hold her. But the vet did text me. The cool thing is, you guys, they texted me throughout the day. They texted me pictures. I mean, it was awesome. It just put my heart at ease. Good morning, honey.
Hey.
What are we doing today?
Just living.
I'll give you one guess. We're pulling the wagon to do laundry. Huh.
Yep.
We had a long night last night. We'll update you a little bit more on Scout. But we left her at the vet last night to do emergency surgery because the naughty little thing got in some rocks and ate some rocks. But we got a call this morning. They were able to get everything out. It was in her stomach, so one little incision in her stomach, and they got it all out. So she's awake and she's doing well. Scout's 8 months old, and we decided to go ahead and spay her as well. So we can probably say that this is the most expensive spay we'll ever do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, she's good. They're gonna keep her there and make sure she's good and let her eat before we get to bring her home. But more update on that later today. Right now we're just gonna do some laundry. I'm here at the vet's office because they called us tonight and they said we can come get Scout. So Scout gets to come home with us tonight. I'm so excited to see her. I'm sure she's really excited to see us too. So Sean's waiting outside because this clinic is pretty busy right now. So yeah, I can't wait. I'll let you see Scout when she gets here. So Scout was spayed today also, and this is her tiny little uterus. Who knew? Puppy uterus. Look how that's my thumb. It's her uterus in there. Oh, my baby. Look at you.
So, Billy.
Oh, I guess the part we left out about the surgery is the cost.
What does emergency surgery overnight cost in a big city where it's convenient and available?
Yeah, obstruction surgery, the extra precautions they took, the spay, overnight.
The medications,
yeah.
I mean, all in.
Close to $6,000. Yeah.
So,
you didn't mishear that. Close to $6,000 for Scout.
Petting ain't easy.
No, having pets is not easy, and it's not for the faint of heart, okay? And you know, we go into this discussion all the time because we think, should we get pet insurance? You know, and I've read online blogs, and some people say pet insurance is great, but a lot of times the insurance company will deny most surgeries, so instead of paying for insurance, just throw some money in an emergency fund and use that. We're still up in the air. We do not have pet insurance. So this is out of an emergency savings account or a credit card, or that's the only, you know, we don't have pet insurance. So.
Yeah, and as full-time RVers, you know, that's a tip you've probably seen on a million YouTube videos about hitting the road and making sure you have that emergency stash or that emergency thing. And most people will tell you because, you know, you never know what's going to go wrong with your rig or your truck or whatever. But if you travel with pets, you can incur an expense just as big as anything on a rig repair. It's critical to have that savings and to be prepared for anything that can happen out on the road, even the things you probably don't anticipate.
Yeah, I mean, you don't expect this, right? We're just having a good time, and you don't expect your dog to eat a rock. So the vet gave me the $6,000 rocks, and there was a pretty good big one, and then there was a bunch of little ones too. Got it all done, so happy, and we got our spayed, so now we don't we don't foresee having to put her under
Under.
anesthesia for anything again. Luckily, knock on wood. We just have to be more careful. We have to watch her, watch what she eats, watch what she's chewing on. We've said this before, guys, in our How to Be Safe Out on the Road video. I'll pop a card up here. When you get to a location, if you have pets, you guys, you need to be aware of what's in the area in case you need a vet. Because our home vet is back in Wyoming or back in Texas. It's too hard to get a hold of them, especially at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
so
yeah.
when you roll into a new place and you're going to be there for a little bit, know where the emergency vets are, know how to get a hold of them, because you never know what can happen.
Yeah, and that's probably not going to be in the handout that you get from an RV park when you roll through the gate. So that's
And
something you're going to have to look for on your own.
Yeah, you remember we had a puppy that got bit by a rattlesnake. We've had Grizzy get a scratch on her eyeball. We've had all kinds of issues where we've had to use an emergency vet, and it is so important not only to have an emergency fund, but to know where to go in that kind of an emergency. Sitting here drinking our coffee this morning, and Scout is doing much better, huh? How you feeling today? Oh, this dog, I swear. So Scout slept really well last night. And she ate some breakfast too, huh? I'm feeling good. So she's feeling good. We're just drinking our coffee this morning. We're kind of keeping her inside. I took her outside to go potty, but we're carrying her on and off the bed and the couch so she doesn't jump and hurt herself, because she does still have an incision. So she's doing really good. They gave us the jar of rocks that came out of her stomach, and yeah, I could see why she wasn't feeling good. I'll disturb you. Update on Skiggs. This is our Skiggity Scout, and she is doing just fine. You can see her little stomach. She got a little incision there, but she's doing great, aren't ya?
The
Say hi.
only way you would even know she had anything done is she still got a little bit of.
Yeah, you can see where they shaved,
they shaved her to do the
arms for the
IV.
IVs. And then this little patch right here that looks like a saddle blanket. This is where they had to put the manual ventilator or something on so they can monitor
another
things.
monitor, so she got a little redneck looking patch there too. But
other than that, Scout is doing great, you guys. She's recovered. She's eating just like normal, playing just like normal. Thankfully, she's fine.
oh yeah, yeah.
But talk about a scary night to have to run to a vet you've never met before at 2 in the morning and then hand your baby over to them and leave them there and just hope everything's going to be all right. We just want to encourage you, if you are pet owners out here living this full-time RV lifestyle, you can do it. Just be prepared, because your pets have to be taken care of. So make sure you know their environment, know their pen, know where they're at, know what they're eating, what they're putting in their mouths.
Yeah, and you know, Scout's not a habitual rock eater. I don't want to put that out there, but we think probably that we had cooked some burgers or something earlier in the day, and maybe some of the grease had spilled down on the ground, so something that smelled or tasted good was on a couple of rocks, and she just, she didn't care. She just ate it because it tasted like burgers or something. But
leave a comment down below if you travel with pets and if you've had any situation like this, because it was scary.
Like Billy said, comment and let us know if you travel with pets, and if you do, go ahead and put a picture of them down below and introduce them to the rest of the group. It's just a good way for us to all enjoy our pets, I think.
I'd love to see pictures of your pets. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to our channel so that you can follow along and see where else we're going to go next, or what other kind of shenanigans we're going to get into. We are going to make our way from Mesa back across Texas so that we can join up with our group and start preparing for the RV deployment, Operation Galveston.
We can't wait to get there.
Thanks for coming along, you guys, and until next week,
we'll see you out there.
Take care.
Free to roam, ooh, oh, can't you see the beauty of this land? It's where we're meant to be. From coast to coast, let the good times roll in our